Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've lane swapped quick shot here and got Deficio up on the desk. And we'd like, of course, to take a quick moment to let you know that the preview show has recently been added to the top of LOLesports.com. You can head there and watch current and past episodes to catch up on all the league action with Riv, Jack, Quick Shot and Shocks. But for now, of course, it is time for the second half of the day with the Copenhagen Wolves versus ROC. Yesterday, the Copenhagen Wolves had another problematic match. They took on a great-looking Super Hot crew, and a lot of elements didn't work for them again. Quite similar to week one.
Yeah, and if we start with Youngbuck up in the top lane, he played Vladimir again, and it's a risky pick in my opinion, because it's hard now. With all the lane swaps going on here, you have to jungle, it's hard to get the farm needed, to get the items, and also there's a lot of champions who can one-on-one you in these one-on-ones. Like with Shyvana, for instance, in top lane, like we saw yesterday, he lost to Mima one-on-ones pretty much throughout the entire game. And Vladimir itself is not a bad pick, it's just a very risky one, and it's not what Copenhagen Wolves need at the moment. And also looking at the game yesterday versus Super Hot crew, in general, they just played very passive, because they were waiting for this Vladimir to scale up. They were waiting for the jungle Yorick as well to get to the point where you can really start going into team fights and actually have an impact. And it just didn't happen. So they played very passive, and Super Hot crew just had full control of the map.
And I have to ask you, while we're on that topic, what do you think to Airwax on jungle Yorick? For me, it doesn't seem to have the strength of the core four junglers, Evelyn, Elise, Lee Sin, and Kha'Zix.
Well, I like it in the case, I think it can work. Definitely think it can work. According to himself, I actually talked with him. He said, according to him, he's very, very strong one-on-one against the enemy jungler. So if he goes in and trying to find him at the red buff or Wraith camp or something, he can actually kill the enemy jungler. However, the ganks, of course, are very weak from Yorick. And my issue is also the way he builds it. No GP10 items, no jungle items for him. And also he goes for the tier, to stack it up. And it takes a lot of time for him to stack it up. It's a lot of time and money he invests into building this Yorick up. And once you're in the jungle and you farm somewhat slow without a gold item as well, it takes a lot of time before you hit a point where you're really, really strong. And in general, it simply means, unless Copenhagen will snowball early game, you won't actually do anything on this Yorick. And that's what we have seen in the last two games where he actually played it. But of course, we have to say he's still a new jungler. He's playing his comfort picks because he's new to the LCS. Woolite, of course, the new AD carry. The synergy on the team still needs to be built up here. The teamwork needs to improve, and that's maybe why they stick to these comfort picks for someone like Airwax.
So on the other side then, ROC versus SK Gaming. ROC, again, a similar scenario to so many games that we saw yesterday, where they fell behind too quickly, never really had a chance to show us what they had up their sleeve.
They got completely out-rotated on the map by SK Gaming, and there was pretty much nothing they could do to actually get back, because they ran this poke comp here without any engage or any proper wave clear. So once they fell behind, they could just try and pick up some farm in the lanes and just wait for SK to push them down to them, and SK just move into the jungle, take the buffs, take the dragon, take the baron, take everything away on the map, and then we had just had ROC waiting at the tower. The farm came down, pick up some of it, and if SK were there to actually push with the wave, the tower would just go down. So they were actually never really in the game, and also credit to SK, of course, for playing very safe and never really give them a chance to come back.
So then, with both teams trying to climb out at the bottom of the table, the Copenhagen Wolves will really need to work together with their two new members as ROC come into this match looking to exploit any of those weaknesses.
Overall, Wolves aren't that strong as a team right now because they changed two members, and I think they are weaker.
So they have two new players now, Woolite and Airwax. I think the jungler is not performing that well yet. Woolite is doing fine, I think. He is doing good.
I always saw Rocket as a wild card. They can pull out any strategy and they can play very differently. How good they are varies a lot from day to day. I can expect them to do basically anything, and especially Overpow has a really weird champion pool, so you never know what champion you're going to play against.
Well, the last split we always wanted to lane swap against them because we felt that was their weakness. Especially lane swapping into mid lane because we thought Overpower was the strongest link. I think we will revise our strategy and probably go for a normal strat this time.
We will do our best to win because we are right now really in bad spot, and every single match matters, so we need to start winning.
Interesting that we hear there that the Copenhagen Wolves lane swapped ROC last split because they thought that was a weakness. But we're at a point in the game now where lane swaps are practiced a hell of a lot by every single team.
And we very rarely see people actually go mid lane with it. It's always up in the top lane or the bottom lane, and then you start roaming around here. So we need to see if both teams can adapt to it, because it's actually been the weak point for both these teams. The play on the map is not good enough for both of them.
Well, now it's on to the lineups for our two teams for this game. On the blue side, for the Copenhagen Wolves, we have Youngbuck in the top lane, Airwax in the jungle, Coutard in the mid lane, and the duo of Woolite and Unlimited.
On the red side, we have Rockhat with Sasos in the top lane, Jankos in the jungle, Overpower is the mid laner, Celavice AD carry, and of course Vandalife on support.
So let's take a quick look then at your votes over on lolesports.com, where it looks like you've picked Rockhat to win this game by 67%. And as far as the votes go, I think that is actually pretty spot on for this game, just from what we've been seeing and really feeling from these two teams in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, so while Rocket have lost 4 games already, we have to remember they got 3rd place in the playoffs last split, so they're definitely a strong team. They just have some issues now actually finding the right playstyle for them. On the current patch, of course, we need to see champion-wise. For me, it's a bit weird. They've banned Twitch now in all 5 games they've played. Not a single time have they actually just let it go through or try and pick it themselves. Either Celavice needs to learn to play Twitch, or Rocket at least need to, I wouldn't say respect it less, but find some sort of counter to it so they don't always have to ban it every single game.
Well, we'll see if they continue that trend here as we head into Champion Select for Game 3 here on our second day of Week 2 in the European LCS. First bans out, though, will be LeBlanc for the Copenhagen Wolves and Nidalee taken away, so both aimed at Overpower. On the other side, Yasuo taken out, and there is the Twitch ban that you were talking about from Rocket.
Yeah, so Twitch ban again, expected at least, and also with the Yasuo here taking away from Coutard. I actually like that because Coutard has really shown he's so good on this champion here. He's actually carried games for the Wolves, so I like the fact they banned away.
What will the next one be? Jax taken out. Zazas, of course, has already showed us his hand when it comes to Jax in the spring split and into playoffs. Kassadin, 3rd and final ban out here for Rocket. Red side Kassadin ban, who would have thought it? Leaving Evelyn open here, though, for the jungle for Airwax. He's going to take that away this time. Of course, not going for Yorick. And
Trolling
I think
with the
Rocket,
picks.
yeah, they may be trolling slightly with this one, hovering
A little
over
bit.
Vladimir and Yorick.
Little bit. He should be Lee Sin here, or of course the least pick for Jankos. First picking Evelyn is actually something a bit strange now, where there's so many teams who really favors Lee Sin as the first pick when you want to go for the jungler here. But of course, Copenhagen Wolves, we saw Airwax actually play Evelyn in week 1, where he managed to flank around and actually start a very good team fight and win the game for the Wolves.
Their only win, yeah.
Exactly, and the only win for the Wolves. He actually played Evelyn. Could be the reason, of course, for the lock-in.
See about that and what Rocket are actually going to go for here. And Ziggs as a first pick could be interesting, considering that Rocket have final pick and could counter what Coutard goes for. But we know that Coutard himself likes to play that Ziggs, and with a couple or 3 mid lane or 4 mid lane bans, I always forget about Kassadin because he's banned out so often. Ziggs taken now, priority for Rocket, along with the Lucian. The AD carry locked in here for Rocket on their first round.
So very safe picks, a lot of wave clear, a lot of poke potential from Rocket from the start here. Really already showing what their comp is going to be about. We can group up now. I would expect someone like Sasus to go with either Shyvana, Renekton, or Trundle and focus on split pushing up in the top lane. And then you have 4 members with the Ziggs, with the Lucian in the mid lane to just start poking, sieging down, which is a comp that always works great as long as you're not falling too far behind. And even if you do fall behind, you can always just extend the game and farm and therefore try and look for the comeback.
So what will the Wolves add in now? Will they be locking in for Youngbuck in the top lane? We've been a little unimpressed, I think it's safe to say, with the picks that he's brought to the table so far. Vladimir a couple of times. Lulu didn't really work for him. Looked like they were really trying almost too hard to crowbar that one in. The only win, funnily enough, that they had was with Trundle in the top lane, a signature champion type for Youngbuck, and he's going to go back to that here with the Shyvana, also taking the Thresh for Unlimited.
So Youngbuck is really a Bruiser player, much like Wicked, much like Freddy. Loves to play the Bruisers here. AP champions didn't work for him at all, and in the past as well. I mean, yes, Vladimir actually has been his main champion, or one of the main champions for him for many years, but still, right now, Copenhagen Wolves need him to play a Bruiser where he can, first of all, be in the front line and tank a lot of damage, or he can focus on split pushing and applying pressure for the Wolves, and then they can do something else on the map. Last split, it was pretty much all the time someone like Ziggs, Caitlyn, or Lucian, and they would just do this 1-4 split push, and it worked for them.
Also want to say that Thresh is not a champion that Unlimited really plays. We've not seen it on him so far. I think he didn't even play in the spring split overall, maybe once or twice, but definitely not a player who really prioritizes that Thresh pick. On the other side though, the definites that we have, Irelia for the top lane for Xaxus, Lee Sin for Jankos in the jungle.
Yeah, so we did get the Lee Sin here. Rocket could even delay the pick, of course, because due to the fact that Evelynn was first picked, could take it later here, of course, get, in my opinion, the best jungler at the moment. Lee Sin over to Jankos, of course, a champion he enjoys playing a lot. Irelia up in the top lane against Shyvana here. Both of them actually follow each other pretty well. Going up, and both of them also very strong when it comes to team fights.
So for the Wolves on their final 2 rounds, looking for a mid laner and an AD carry. Lulu and Kog'Maw, really wouldn't be surprising me to see that one, or that combo being locked in. Of course, you've seen 2 champions for Kautard so far this season. First 3 games, he played Yasuo. That's banned out this time around. The last 2 games he played Ziggs, that was already first picked here by ROC. So going on to something new, at least for this split, that'll be the Lulu for him. And as I said, Kog'Maw the choice here for Woolite. The second time we'll see him on that as well. They opened up the season with a Kog'Maw against Alliance.
And this is really a comp you would actually see Alliance play, because we have the Lulu Shyvana coming in here, so Shyvana can jump in, get the wild growth, knock up multiple members. That's your engage, followed up then by, of course, Evelynn flanking around with her ulti, and that's how you start the fights. A lot of slows coming down onto Rocket so you can start chasing, and then also, of course, you have to peel with Lulu and Thresh in case it's actually Rocket engaging onto you here. So very nice comp here from Copenhagen Wolves, and one we've seen from Alliance, and they really make it work.
On the other side, Rocket are looking for their support here, and if you look at what Vander's already played, Zyra and Leona, Thresh, Nami, I think it's going to be the Leona in here. We did see it with Illusion in Game 2 of the season when he picked up the win against Gambit, and as the time ticks down, we see that Vander will in fact lock in the Leona.
So Rocket wanted some hard engage in the comp here, and of course, with Vander on Leona, he will be the one to start the fights, followed up by both Irelia and Lee Sin jumping in. You have the bomb from the Ziggs, everything. A lot of all-in potential here from Rocket, and only actually the Lulu and the Thresh then to peel and kite away. There's no Nami, no Zyra to knock them up. They have to be slowed down, and then you just kite backwards with the rest of the Copenhagen Wolves team here. So it can definitely work for them. Both teams here providing some decent wave clear. Both of them with the Bruisers, of course, in the top lane. Both are going to bring teleport, no surprise at all. Aggressive early junglers, 2 good AD carries. One of them, of course, Woolite, is going to scale better when you come to the real late game. But then, of course, Lucian has his early game and mid game power.
And will we see the Kog'Maw get to the late game? That's the question. We've not really seen answered so far in the games where we've had that Kog'Maw in there. But guys, now that we know the champions, do you still think that Rocket are going to come out on top of it? Let us know by tweeting at LOL Esports with hashtag CWWin or hashtag ROCWin, and we'll see if you guys change your mind a little bit later on. Did change your mind in our last game, but actually it just became even stronger of a vote in favor of Fnatic.
And again, looking at comps in this game, it's so hard to predict. I mean, they're very even with each other here. Both have pretty much the same kind of playstyle, except for the support picks, where one of them, unless you land the hook, could be the engage, but otherwise you have the hard engage support, and then you have the peeling support instead here to help out Woolite in the team fights. So that's the only difference actually for them. We need to see how Copenhagen Wolves will handle here the early game, where of course they need Woolite to farm up in the start, where Selva can be more aggressive on Lucian and try and set something up with Vander.
And it's interesting as well because the Wolves have had trouble late game, finishing off games. Kog'Maw, of course, the later we go, the stronger he's going to be overall. We'll see about that one here as we head into game for the Copenhagen Wolves versus ROCAT. A bottom-of-the-table clash, these two teams really looking for a win. Of course, they between them only have a win apiece. One against Millennium for the Wolves, and of course the Gambit win for ROCAT.
And both these teams here in the last split, people were talking about how the potential was there. They could become great teams. Both of them could actually move up the ranks in Europe as well. ROCAT, of course, with the third place. Copenhagen Wolves had to play promotion tournament. Still managed to re-qualify without any issues, to be honest. So people are still talking about how these teams could actually step it up, become even better, maybe even challenge some of the real top teams here in Europe. Didn't start well enough for them. As we talked about, big issues when it comes to rotation, focus on objectives as well. Laning phase has actually been decent for both teams though.
laning phase not being a problem for them whatsoever. And you have to wonder then, especially from the Wolves side, is that all about the synergy when it comes to these team fights, having the 2 new members in? And then you say the same about Rocket, a team that's been together for such a long time, managed to finish 3rd when it came to playoffs.
So Rocket is, for me, shot calling is a big deal. Also the pick and ban phase in some of the past games has been a bit weird, where they often would either get outscaled or just be way too weak early game with their champions. So they didn't really find a match here.
Look at that vote, really coming back down and in fact changing in favor of the Copenhagen Wolves here. 51 to 49%. Doesn't get much closer than that without the 50-50 draw coming in. So very, very interesting game. As you said, bottom of the table clash, but just as important as the top of the table clash that we saw in game 1 between Alliance and SK Gaming here today. We'll see who can get off to the better start out of these two.
Every single win matters here in Europe. With all the tiebreakers, again, think back to last year in the summer split where we had the 5-way tie or something. One win there for any of those teams could have changed it, actually moved them up to even just 2nd place in the league. So every single win here counts. Of course, you want to get to the playoffs and then you have a chance of going towards World, but you also want to use these games to really step up your gameplay. And they're going aggressive here early on to Woolite.
Yeah, and actually is going to be moving in there. A bit of damage exchange between the two of them. No real major problems coming out there as Vander decided to go in. Celeber taking damage. Actually, Vander going very deep once again, but it's almost like a game of chicken between these two supports right now as who's going to go deeper.
Just poking a little bit back and forth. Of course, Opar as well in the mid lane. He's actually still only level 1, so Kauta got to early level 2 and therefore got a good poke onto Opar, both of them. Actually down to 50%. Now Opar, of course, still has to last it a bit on the tower. He's going to miss some of these minions.
Yeah, credit to Overpower though for actually managing to get some of that damage back onto Kautard, still whilst being level 1 and landing that bouncing bomb in there. See how that mid lane all develops and where the junglers really are going to put their focus in this early game. Who are they going to be going for? Just want to look down a couple of these summoner spells here, specifically in the bottom lane, the cleanse for Woolite. Never to be underestimated when you've got a slow, squishy champion like Cosmo.
I like it against Leona and also against Aurelia. When they go in towards him, if you land a stun onto him, he needs the cleanse, of course, and then he knows he will get the movement speed. You'll be able to kite with the help of him, but Jankos come in towards this top lane here.
Oh, look, actually flashing very, very early on from this, and Jankos is going to get the slow. Not got the damage just yet. Obviously got the secondary slow as well with the auto attacks and red buff on, but that didn't offer him too much. Airwax here, though, with Evelyn. This is a real chance for him to shine, as he did the last time we saw him on Evelyn against Millennium in that winning game. Actually ended 9-5-15 from that one.
It was a bit of a slow start for him in the game, but then he just, as soon as it came to team fights, he just picked up kill after kill after kill, and he was really, really good at flanking around the enemy team and engaging onto them. And of course, if Copenhagen Wolves can be the aggressive ones when they actually start the fights, it's going to be even harder for Rocket to get towards Woolite.
Saw that he missed Flame from Unlimited and talked about that earlier, that he's not been a big Thresh player up until now, and obviously that's something that the team maybe wanted to add into their repertoire for this bottom lane, because Thresh can offer you so much in all stages of this game. Kautard pretty much going to face check in here. Will flash. Jankos goes off to the ward. A Q is going to have to land if he wants to kill. Flashes in, and that is an easy Q and an easy first blood. And now Airwax going to try and escape. This one gets bounced around. Overpower coming in, and he's dead. The Ignite finishes off, and down in the bottom lane it's all going off as well. Vander going towards Woolite. Cleanse already going to be used. There'll be no kill down here unless something terrible happens for either team. And right now it's Unlimited trying to get in range to Vander. Doesn't happen, but Roccat, what a start in that mid lane. Gonna also say at the same time, a face check pretty much from Kautard to go into that rush.
So Airworks was actually around the mid lane, then he walked up towards top and whoa, flash forward from Vander.
A slow reaction actually from Vander going in after his flash, allowed Woolite to flash away. Unlimited and Woolite here are very, very low, but I think Roccat wanting to be a little bit safer. Although I say that, the dash forward comes in, a good play from Unlimited. Vander not got the range on the Zenith play.
And Rocket really needs to punish Woolite for picking Cleanse here early on in the game, where there's no heal, of course, no barrier for him. And they have the advantage on Celebar, so they need to get in, poke him again and again. So whenever he's actually low like this, he can't stay, because again, there's no barrier, no heal, so he can't try and bait it. And therefore Rocket can take control and now push the wave out, and he's gonna lose a lot here, Woolite.
Yes, the turret's going to soak up most of that, and He's coming only now back into lane, waiting for a bit of gold, I think, to add in with the pots and ward that he picked up. Also got himself a Vamp Scepter on top of his Doran's Blade start, but that is a full, I think, wave and a half, really, even, that was down in the bottom lane that's going to be gone when he gets there.
Entire wave is gone here. Overpower.
Oh, he's hit 6. He's hit 6. This is real dangerous for Kautar. Ulti going in. Kautar just steps away. Overpower tanking up the turret there. That is not good news for him. In the end, they can't get around. Airwax may be able to craft something if he can sneak in there. Meanwhile, Zazas having a good bash onto Youngbuck in the top lane.
A lot of early fights in this game here. Both bottom lane, mid lane, of course. Now top lane as well, going hard on to each other. Evelyn's going to join in, though.
Coming up there and won't be spotted, of course. Zazas actually diving onto Youngbuck once again. Ulti going to be thrown down. He's going to get the kill, and now he's going to head south as Airwax will try and chase in. He's not got much health remaining here, but Airwax not got the speed. There's the flash to go in. Stun comes down. Here comes Lee Sin to back things up, and that will mean that Airwax backs away, and he's 3 kills now on the board, unanswered for ROC.
Beautiful, beautiful play by Zazas here. Knew he could actually go for the kill, even though Airwax showed up in his lane. Flashed in with the last ult hit as well, got an auto attack and then backed away, and Jankos was nearby to help him out. Very, very strong play from Rocket here early on. Of course, Jankos been part of 2 of the kills, and then Zazas by himself on mid his top lane.
Mid lane. So close. As soon as I saw Overpower being aggressive there and the minions low, it's like he's going to hit level 6 any second now. Does, but good read really from Kautar. There's a great play to get Vander back away. Is he going to keep chasing? He is, but the hook will land. This could be real dangerous for Vander to slow out of the Voidoo's. Not enough to keep him in position for the Wolves to finish him off, though.
Still has some potions though, so can regen some of the health and maybe go for another attempt. For now though, he's too low and therefore he needs to back away. Good job by Unlimited, however, with the Flay to actually stop the first engage there and prevented the stun onto Woolite.
Very action-packed start to this matchup, which I wasn't sure what to expect, honestly, from this game. Whether it was going to be such a slow, calculated start from both teams, considering this is the bottom of the table clash. The winner of this will head up into 7th position. The loser, of course, staying down in the 8th spot. But Roccat really opening up aggressive. The bottom lane of the Wolves, Woolite and Unlimited also showing that they're not scared of getting their hands dirty there.
And Jankos needs to be careful here because there's a pink ward actually from Copenhagen. Wolves didn't know he's on it. However, Airworks actually is far, far away. He won't be able to join in. He should be a blue buff. Kautar won't be able to try and take it away from Jankos here. So nice blue buff steal actually. Still needs to go back and defend his own.
Yeah, needs to defend his own. There's no ultimate now, of course, from Overpower after he used that one. And Kautar actually going to put some pressure on him, try and hold him in position. As Jankos comes across, Wild Growth is available for Kautar as the Q is going to land. Airwax is there, not spotted there as the bouncing bomb landing in onto him. And Roccat feeling like they could do a little bit of chasing from this one. Bottom lane is going to start to move into position. Kautar at less than half. Airwax is going to walk in, but he takes the Lantern back to safety. And now Celiver in a bit of a 1v1 against Woolite. But there is the cleanse used, which will get it back. Or will it? Lee Sin comes in. Wild Growth being used. Everyone's so low. Hook lands onto Vander. Airwax goes in to get the kill onto Jankos. But he get one back for Overpower in the end. Massacre, a messy fight really that so many more people could have gone down there.
And everything starts from the chase in the mid lane here where Kautar went aggressive onto Overpower. And Jankos is there, they chase him down, Airworks joins in, the bottom lanes they join in together here. Nice cleanse from Moonlight as well, and then they baited out actually to jump from Jankos, and now they're going towards Celiver.
Double flash actually, Celiver flashed away from the flash out of Kautar. And actually, well, actually it was the dash away. He'd already used flash just previously to that one, but good try out of Kautar, trying to get a little bit of an edge from that, but it still leaves Roccat in charge of this game. 4-1 up, close to a 2,000 gold lead now.
Still a pretty good bait actually from Copenhagen Wolves when Jankos jumped in. Wild Growth there, managed to keep Woolite alive and just turn around and pick up a kill. Of course, still lost a member for it, but it was good play, especially by Kautar himself with the Wild Growth.
Blue buff actually will be given over there again to Jankos, so he's keeping hold of that, and that's because Overpower got himself a double buff after securing that kill back after they got the buffs from Jankos. So that worked out fine for Roccat in the end in terms of transferring those buffs across to the mid laner, and keeps Kautar now such a hard time in this mid lane. Behind on levels, up against a double buff Ziggs.
We actually need to see if Rocket want to keep playing this aggressive here. Jankos going in, they definitely want to be.
Countout in trouble, down to half, he's going to get bounced against the wall, but Jankos had already used his moves really to try and get in behind him for the kick, and Countout will be able to walk away. Did have Wild Growth as well available, should that have been needed, and Cullen is just going to come out to annoy the Copenhagen Wolves who are trying to recall.
So they actually stopped him from recalling as soon as Rocket starts the Dragon here, but because Woolite is out of mana, Rocket don't really care. They just want to keep him there so he couldn't recall and come back and pick up some farm later on. Airwalks is still here. He can try and smite still this one and then take the Lantern from Unlimited to get out.
So dangerous. The Lantern is there. Can he get in? No, he can't. Airwax now going to be spotted and killed. Destroyed by Elise in the end. 5th kill of the game for Rocket. 2nd one overall for Jankos. They get the kill. They get the Dragon. Airwax feeling obviously that he needed to do that to try and bring the Wolves back into this.
Had to try something at least. The Lantern was a little bit too early as well, so gave it away for Rocket to spot Lantern and see, okay, we know Evelyn's going to try and steal this one, so let's just turn around as well, pick up an easy kill. And top lane wise, I mean, yes, Sasas, he picked up a kill, slightly ahead in CS as well, just used the teleport. Youngbuck still has his teleport, but now the Dragon, of course, is gone, so it's going to be hard for Copenhagen Wolves to make a play.
Youngbuck's going to get some more pressure from Sasas. Half of his health stripped away just like that. Well, real follow-up from Sasas on it though. We'll see how that one all develops. As you mentioned, there is the lead from Sasas. Building very aggressive as Overpower going to get caught out.
No.
Tries to jump over the wall. Uses a flash in the end. Is it going to be enough to keep him alive? No, Jankos can't get in to give him the help of the shield fast enough. And now Jankos might be the one that's in trouble. He's got a flash here if really needed. Sasas came down to assist from top as well.
So they actually managed to pick up a kill in here. Of course, the satchel charge didn't work for him. The jump from Overpower just straight into the wall, had to flash away, and then it was easy for Copenhagen Wolves to follow. Pick up a nice kill for them, and also they can push down the wave now. Deny some farm from Overpower, and Kautar can actually catch up.
Oh, Youngberg going aggressive on this one. Actually, will use the Dragon's Descent, clears out that wave, and I think he's probably going to go home shopping after this. Is Unlimited going to get locked up here. A lot of damage coming back out from Selva, but they're trying to turn it around with Woolite, focusing onto Vander from that one. In the end, it's both supports that go down to about half health.
And Selva here, despite been farming pretty well, has 2 assists. Actually doesn't have a BF sword yet, because first of all, the first time he went back, I believe he actually upgraded his boots. Second time he got now the Scepter, and Vander again going very aggressive.
Oh, Solar Flare will come in. This could very well be the end of Unlimited. The Culling coming out. Woolite actually will tank up most of that damage, and Vander is so very low. Spotted in the brush. This should be an easy finish for Airwax. Oh, the stun comes out, and then the flash. That is some pretty sick mechanic from Vander right there.
Yeah, very nice play. The stun flash instantly away. Didn't want to take any chances, of course. Beautiful play. There was no ulti for Airwax. It was still on cooldown, so he couldn't actually slow them down, therefore couldn't pick up the kill. And it means for Jankos now, again, as soon as he spots Airwax somewhere, he just moves into his jungle, picks up some farm. And so far, both junglers have been very active when it comes to ganks.
And more wards to blue buff as well. Let's not forget the last one was taken by Jankos, who will spot Youngbuck. Actually lands the Q, but does he want any more than that? He did, apparently, but also then just walked straight off from it as he realized actually Youngbuck does decent amounts of damage here. Double Doran's Blade Shyvana. Also the workings of the Sunfire Cape in there. Meanwhile, Unlimited, who I have to give him his due. I wasn't sure how he's going to play here on this Thresh, as Youngbuck once again he's going to get pressured from Sasas. I wasn't sure how Unlimited was going to come in here with his Thresh, but his plays have been pretty much on point throughout this one as Leona goes in onto him every time.
Yeah, and we need to see what he can actually do when it comes down to team fights.
That's true.
Set up a good hook or save someone with the Lance and going into the mid-late game where we really need to see him shine. And we also need to see if Rocket wants to start putting more pressure onto Woolite down this bottom lane, because he's actually been farming pretty well. He has the cleanse, of course, already for the team fights and been picking up quite some farm. Already got his Blade King, so for him at least, he can be happy. And Copenhagen Wolves, they need him to be very farmed.
Oh, this could be real bad for Youngbuck. Sasas let's pick up a couple of hits, and the minions gone means that they would have slowed down any pressure they could have put in. Meanwhile, Airwax was spotted there. But here is the blue buff. As I said, stolen last time by Rocket, and they're going to put a lot of resources into it again.
3 members are here also. Sasas with teleport close by also in the top lane. They can either take this blue buff and then go towards the top and try and kill Youngbok, or just be happy with the blue buff and then back away. Team Youngbok is the target.
Oh, actually fighting here. There is the bomb coming out of Ziggs. Airwalk's going to go low. Will be finished off here, surely. He does actually get a kill before, and it's onto Zazas there before. Actually, didn't even go down. What am I talking about? The Wild Growth saved him, and he was able to walk away from it. Youngbok did die. In the end, it's both top laners that fall victim to that fight.
Jankos managed to just kill him under the tower here, had to flash in for it for the last hit and then moved away. And now back to this blue buff. Airwalks, he's still very, very low. He won't be able to fight at all.
He shouldn't fight, and he's not going to fight. They start to back away. Smite comes in again from Jankos. That will be another blue buff secured for ROC. Theirs is actually already spawned, so they can head straight over there and overpower, get hits.
Rocket put a lot of focus on the enemy blue buff in this game here. Jankos took the first blue buff by himself. Of course, now they picked up this one as well and going towards their own. Look here for the fight. Notice Youngbok is first. He's actually pretty much starting the fight. Zazas flashes down to his team down here. A lot of damage from overpower. Good hook coming in from Limited. And then Wild Growth. And also the Lantern actually for Airbox when he jumps out. Youngbok left to die pretty much by Jankos' feet. And there's nothing he could actually do at this point.
I was a little confused as to where Airwax actually went. I'm still looking. All right, where's the kill notification? Well, of course, as you said, was the lantern that he took to actually get out of danger there. ROC out here moving towards the bottom side of the map. Are we going to put some plays down towards... Oh, this is bad news for Overpower. Getting caught out in the enemy jungle. Vanda's going to have to throw everything his way for the help. And actually, Vanda now going very deep. Well, that gets the kill. And that's a blue buff over to the Cogmore, which certainly doesn't help them with 15 seconds to Dragon.
It should mean Dragon for Copenhagen Wolves at least. Teleport is ready on both top laners, so they can both join in case. And Rocket, of course, only 4 members left. Shouldn't be able to contest this one. So Dragon now for Copenhagen Wolves, a kill on to Woolite. It couldn't be any better.
So that's the start of the turnaround here. 6-4 in kills. No turrets actually gone down in this game as of yet. 17.5 minutes in. That will be the second Dragon, of course, of the game. 1-1 in terms of totals on that one. For Wolves there, and that previous one, of course, going over to ROC. And it leaves us with 1,000 gold being the difference here. Still ROC having the lead on that one. Youngbok now feeling more comfortable, that's for sure, in this top lane after finishing off his Sunfire Cape. However, Zazas is close to his Trinity Force as well.
Yeah, top lane has been a big issue for Copenhagen Wolves this game here. Celavar managed to dash away, didn't want to get hooked here by Unlimited. But at top lane, because Youngbok has been behind in the lane one-on-one, it's opened up for Rocket to take blue buffs and also to go up top lane and start fights even under the tower here to kill Youngbok. There's been a big issue, and it's just going to continue to be an issue because Zazas then will be able to kill him one-on-one with this Aurelia.
This tower is going to be going down, I think, as we see Vanda go aggressive onto Woolite. The Oakland. Here comes Airwax from the side, flash from Vanda, and a TP to the turret coming in out of Zazas. They may just hold on to the turret, but they've lost a lot of health from that.
I'm not sure why he didn't cancel it, because he's now actually going to recall instantly and just run back to the top lane. So he should have cancelled the teleport here as soon as he saw Copenhagen Wolves back away. And now Copenhagen Wolves continue to push. If Airwax comes down once again, they can take the tower. Maybe they can even get it by themselves.
Youngbok actually recall in there to get his health back and also pick up a Vamp Scepter and then teleports back into that top lane. Just in time, actually, to stop that one from taking too much damage from Jankos, who was already pushing those waves out. A bit of ward clearage going on in this mid lane, and I think Kautard is now feeling a little safer with that Athene's done, having his needlessly large rod in. On the other side, though, Overpower has gone first item Void Staff.
So with the Void Staff here going for very early magic penetration, trying to get to the point where he can do true damage, and of course also he wants to be able to kill Youngbok. Once Youngbok actually jumps into his face, Airworks comes into his face, he wants to be able to blow up the tanks here as fast as possible.
And Jankos moving around. Will they get on Kautard? He actually already started to trot off back. They do have a ward just outside of the Dragon Pit anyway, so Kautard will have seen that one coming early enough to not be phased by it. This top lane, interesting now how that all is going to develop, with Youngbok obviously feeling better about things and starting to claw back in terms of the CS. 173 to 162. And as I mentioned, Zazas has got himself the Trinity Force and also picked up Alacrity Berserker Greaves.
So it's something the Irelias here in Europe really like to do, so you're so mobile on the map, and also means if you actually go for 1-1, you can chase. Unlimited though, he's in trouble.
He's caught out of position completely, the kick coming in. Actually, Wild Growth comes down. That's a lot of healing, but is it enough to keep him alive? The bomb only really catching Kauton. Unlimited still being pressured.
Wow.
Celeber in the middle of the team is going to go down, and I'm not sure he's the last here. Vander pressured and finished off by Airwax, who flashes over the wall right in front of Overpower. And Yankos, slow comes in, Kauton joins around the corner, Airwax going low, the shield, the hooks coming out, and that is another one. Will they be able to finish off Overpower? They will. Woolite picked it up. 4-0 for Copenhagen Wolves. Roccat destroyed in the enemy jungle.
And this was Rocket who started the whole fight. They went on to Unlimited. Rest of Copenhagen Wolves joined in. See it in the replay here. Unlimited, he's the first target. Celebar and Overpower running from the mid lane to join. Wild Growth coming in from Kauton saves him. And then look at Celebar now. He's actually going to flash into the hook from Unlimited. Right here, he flashes forward. Boom, instant hook. He's going to be an easy target now for Copenhagen Wolves. And once he dies, damage is gone. Woolite in the bottom of your screen, just dealing damage the entire time. Nobody's touching him, and they can just chase on for this one here. The flash from Celebar, way too aggressive, and then Copenhagen Wolves with great turnaround here, picking up 4 kills. Didn't even lose a single member. Of course, the last two coming in as well for Unlimited.
Really impressive turnaround, and Cogmod just showing why he's so dangerous. Superb range across the
Flashing
entire
into hooks
river.
are dangerous too.
Well, yeah, flashing into hooks is something that I could probably take out of the Joe Miller playbook rather than anything else. Either way, that's going to leave Roccat reeling somewhat. They were up in kills. The start of the game, let's not forget, was 4-0, I believe, for Roccat. They looked to be doing everything right. They seem to be really going their way, but they've fallen behind not only on kills now, but 3,000 gold with the towers going down. And now Roccat trying to finally get their first of the game. They'll succeed in that mission as well by taking down the outer mid turret.
And this is still one thing Rocket can do with the comp. Push down the lane very fast, get some damage on the tower, back away, because they have so much wave clear. And also if Copenhagen Wolves decides to group up and start pushing towards the tower, it's easy enough for Rocket to either clear with the ulti from Overpower or just basically kill the wave very, very fast before it even reaches the tower with both Overpower and, of course, Celebar. So they can still extend the laning or extend the game for a long, long time here. And it's going to be hard for Copenhagen Wolves to actually push onto the towers.
But how long do you want to extend the game with a Cogmore in the back?
Good point.
You see that he is pretty much a full item ahead at this stage. Got himself that static shiv on top of the Blade of the Ruin King. Only Bloodthirster and the Phage for the flash into Hook Master, at least so far this game. Celeber, and this outer turret in the top lane is so low. It'll be easy pickings for the Wolves. They decide to tank that one up as the minions go down for their third of the game.
That was a very, very smart move because Overpower was still moving from the mid lane. His ulti was on cooldown, so the wave clear wasn't there for Rocket. Ulti wasn't there either, so Copenhagen Wolves could move up, quickly pick up the tower here. And we have to highlight, it's actually the 2 new players for Copenhagen Wolves with all the kills here and playing super well, both Airwax and of course Woolite.
That was a similar scenario to their win over Millennium as well. 9-5-15 for Airwax in the end of that one. Graves picking that match for Woolite. He ended up 9-3-13. We also had Kautar doing the business with his Yasuo in that match as well, so that's certainly not something we should forget. But you're not wrong in your point that both Airwax and Woolite coming up good for them this game. However, we see that the Dragon is live and both teams not going to give this one up for free. Top laners both got TP up.
Both got TP, so we should be seeing the first big team fight here with everyone involved. Unless, of course, they want to keep both top laners there. And Copenhagen Wolves starting the Dragon. Rocket, though, they should be able to engage this one.
Yankos, he's the one, of course, that you'd be in prime position to steal. And as he starts to walk forward, the Wolves like, probably should let that Dragon start to reset as the damage comes across.
Teleport.
TP coming in at the back. Vander gets hooked on. Limited is out of position here. Gets the Wild Growth. It gives them no knockup. And Airwax is shut down as he goes right into the middle of the team. Youngbuck has split them up somewhat. And now they're going to try and focus on the low HP Zazas on Overpowers at about half. And a messy fight. I think Airwax biting off a little bit too much there. But the Wolves keep chasing this one with Woolite doing masses of damage from the back. Gets a big group slow. This is going to be a double kill for him. Is he going to fall? No! Oh, big mess there as well as Yankos comes through. The hook lands onto Celeber. Have they got the damage to finish? Yes! Youngbuck gets that one. That will be a 3-for-1 and a flash 4-for-1.
So the fight actually started out pretty bad for Copenhagen Wolves. Airbox was in a very good position if he'd got wild growth by Kautar, knock up multiple members, but it was already used on Unlimited, yet they couldn't chase on here. Now they start the Baron. Kog'Maw, of course, will destroy it. Overpower still nearby. No ulti though.
No ultimate. They need to deal with him quickly here. Woolite got no real mana, but he's got a play to the Ruin King. He gets the shield as well. The Baron is down to half. Overpower got to try and run this one. Everyone else starting to come in from ROCCAT, but that Baron is falling quickly. There's a flay coming in. Overpower's dead. Woolite will take that kill. Now dominating. They get the Baron as well. Superb from the Wolves.
6 kills onto your hyper carry in the late game. Baron buff as well now. You have Kautar, you have Unlimited to peel for him in the team fights here. Things are looking great for Copenhagen Wolves. They can group up here and start forcing fights. ROCCAT actually want to start a dragon here.
Oh, this is possibly dangerous for them. Zaza's already falling very low.
Isn't there.
Couple more hits will be doing it. And it's actually Airwax that finishes that one off. Kautar getting the slow onto Jankos. And he kicks one away, but he's got 4 of them coming back in. Surely will be finished off. It's a double for Airwax once again. And the Wolves say, thank you very much, ROCCAT. We'll take those 2 kills and we'll take a dragon as well.
So first of all, ROCCAT, they were split up. Overpower was also dead, so it's only 4 members here. Copenhagen Wolves move 4 of their members towards the dragon. Woolite already gone back to base, and yet ROCCAT actually went in for the fight here. Baron buff Copenhagen Wolves as well. Very, very weird decision here, and of course, they get completely punished for it.
Good lead now the Wolves hold on to. In fact, we're not that far away from a 10,000 gold lead. One question that we always have the Copenhagen Wolves is, when they've got a lead, can they finish the game, number one, without throwing it away, and number two, maybe how long will it actually take them? They've not been a team that have done that so efficiently in the past, but they've got all the right ingredients here. We've seen how much work those shields do for the Wolves in these team fights. We've seen, well, we've got a 605 Kog'Maw, which is exactly the opposite of what every single ROCCAT fan in the world will have been hoping for.
Of course, but still we have to remember Ziggs can extend the game for a long, long time. He can defend even against the Baron Buff team here. So Copenhagen Wolves need to push all the lanes. So they force the ulti from Overpower in one lane, and then they can rotate up to the next one and start pushing in there before Overpower can join into the lane and actually clear the waves. Otherwise it could be hard for them, unless we see them simply just dive onto ROCCAT and just start a fight and don't even care about the tower.
Stealing away a red buff as they go here. Actually, a little bit of vision was down, and ROCCAT knew that Lulu was there after seeing the Glitter Lance coming out of the brush. But look at this, they pushed up middle. The entire team is going to come around. They're going to take the decision to tank it, which becomes a lot easier to do when you've got all those shields coming out. And Youngbuck and Airwax stalking through the jungle as well. Airwax actually spotted here, will be connected onto by the Q of Jankos, but it's all about the turret for the Copenhagen Wolves. The wave clear of Ziggs, we all know how strong that one is, but it's not strong enough to hold them off.
Yeah, and they're doing a very good job keeping both Youngbuck and Airwax a bit away from the team, so they're standing on the side here and can always flank around ROCCAT if they try and stay at the tower to defend it. So ROCCAT, they get scared and start backing away. That's why Overpower wasn't able to clear the wave. So very good move and very good job keeping the Evelynn out of sight.
So here comes Airwax. They're going to try and finish off Jankos, who will simply get over to the ward. Half of his health gone, the hook not quite landing. Not enough damage from Kautar to finish off the kill, but it's not really about kills even there. It's about positioning. They get them away from the tower. They can tank it up with Youngbuck, who's already very tanky. Throw a shield on top of him and he can go into those turrets all day long. Another inner turret down for the Wolves, and they simply ping that bottom lane where, again, do they need to wait for the minion waves? Not really.
It's the Evelynn doing so much work because he just roams between the lanes, and it's so hard for ROCCAT to predict where's he gonna go. And then, as you talked about, the shields from Lulu, the Lantern of course, move in, get a few hits on the tower, back away before the minion wave even arrives. So Copenhagen Wolves are really playing this one smart.
Kite them back heavily. The Glitter Lance, not the hardest skill in that kind of scenario to hit, and will slow everyone to an absolute crawl. They can't really chase unless Banda gets going and is able to lock someone up from the team. And you can probably bet that that won't be Woolite. You see him stepping back as soon as anyone comes anywhere near him on those steps from the ROCCAT team.
I'm really impressed. This is how you actually make Ziggs wave clear. I wouldn't say useless, but you make sure he can't just farm away a wave every single time you move in. And ROCCAT, they pretty much have to just engage, otherwise they're gonna lose the tower.
Forgot about the Voidoos as well, which is a massive slow coming out of Kog'Maw there to stop them pushing even further forward, as you saw Vanda pushing up. The bottom lane actually has about a wave and a half, I think, with the size of it, pushing in the Copenhagen Wolves' favor. So everything going to plan and then some here.
And of course, remember still, cleanse onto Woolite, so even though he gets stunned by Vander, cleanse, back away, wild growth, everything is there to help him out and just move backwards, and it's going to be so hard for Rocket to kill. Here we go though!
Jankos coming in, they're going to kick Unlimited into the rest of the team, but how are they going to deal with the rest of them? Counts out at Woolite at the back, and there is Youngbuck diving in. He's gone very, very low, but they've got 2 kills already. They do get 1 man down. That was Youngbuck, who, as I said, dove right into the middle, underneath the tower. But the Copenhagen Wolves, a couple of them still above half HP, and Woolite with his lifesteal sticking around there for a while, but they're going to go straight to the bottom lane. That's where that wave, as I said before, had already started doing the work for them with the cannon minion in there. This will be the 6th turret of the game for the Copenhagen Wolves. Rocket only their base to play with.
We just saw the team right here. Jankos went in, he actually wanted to get towards Woolite, couldn't get to him, had to kick back Unlimited into the team. Not exactly the target you want to get in there, not the guy you want to kill. So Woolite was left in the back line, only got hit, I believe, by Overpower maybe from his bomb. And then he just picked up a double kill again. Rocket, unless they can get straight onto him and just blow him up instantly, he's gonna destroy them.
And you have to wonder where the tankiness is coming from Rocket's side as well. The Randuin's not done yet for Jankos. Got himself a Hex Drinker. The top laner, Zazas, after Trinity Force, we've seen that a lot of Irelias will go that more tanky route and pick the likes of a Randuin's up, but he's gone Zephyr as
Should have definitely gone for Randuin's here to slow down some of the... Slow down the Kog'Maw, of course, get towards him, even if it takes a hit, slow down some of the attack speed and everything. Or just basically slow down the Kog'Maw so they can actually get to him, kill him, even though they don't lock him up with the first stun.
Although, at the same time, the tenacity, you could also argue with the multiple slows that are coming out.
But you're Aurelia, you don't actually need it. I mean, at this point, it would have been better if Stasus could actually gone in there and survived for just a few extra seconds to try and take down Woolite or just take down any of the members from Copenhagen Wolves, instead of now where Woolite destroys them.
And he continues to do so at 8-0-5, closing in on 300 CS as well. Looks like his Infinity Edge will be coming up next. Already got the Blade of the Ruin King static shift from earlier. Last Whisper was his last big item that was completed, and he's done so well of staying out of danger more than anything, which, you know, you can do a lot easier when you've running Cleanse yourself, when there's a Mikhail's Crucible as well from your support to really make sure that you're double safe. Oh, Jankos. Baited. Nicely baited.
Expected, yeah. So just jumped away. He also puts down a ping to clear the ward though. Youngbuck still staying around, making sure now they won't get too close with the ward here. And once they actually get into ward, there's of course the ping from Copenhagen Wolves to just clear the way instantly.
Oh, Fireworks getting closer to Rocket here, and I think realizing, okay, we still have to back away from this one. Limited's going very close, and they're going to try and dive on him. There's a Wild Growth coming in, and look at the AoE splashing through the wall. Zazas, Celeber both down to less than half, and Airwax is just running rampant at the back of them. He's going to finish off one, does get taken down by Lee Sin, but the cleanup crew comes around. It leaves just 2 men left alive, one of which is Overpower, who finally gets the shutdown onto Woolite.
But still, Rocket, they're too squishy, they're too far behind on items, so as soon as the fight breaks out, even though they catch out a target, Copenhagen Wolves can just turn it around and just do so much damage. Sasus in this fight here, he went in, and as soon as Copenhagen Wolves actually went towards him, he had to back away, because he just went down so fast. Going to Unlimited, notice the health here from Sasus. He's a bruiser, he's supposed to tank damage here, has to just flash out instantly as the fight starts, and therefore it's just a chase. It's not even a big team fight, it's just Copenhagen Wolves chasing on towards the kills. Woolite here, down to 50%, Overpower still. Full HP actually picks up the kill here. Managed to land the Q when he actually flashed into it as well and picked up the kill.
So that leaves us with Rocket still really trailing when it comes to gold at 10,000. They've only got 1 tower here. 1 single tower is all Rocket have to their name, which is in that mid lane, the mid outer turret, which they took out very early as well in this game. And miles behind in the kills, of course the gold reflecting that as well. 9-5-6 the score for Airwax. So of course the AD carry though that's pulling on the really impressive numbers for the Wolves. 8-1-8, the Infinity Edge is now done as well for Woolite. Also picking up the Elixir as well. So really wanting that power right now, spending the money as as effectively as he can for the fight that's surely going to be coming their way with that Baron in the map.
Also with a lot of wards from the Copenhagen Wolves in the jungle of Rocket here, so they can see everything going on here. They can start the Baron, back away if they see Rocket moving in with all 5 members to try and stop them, or they can just try and find the target here, land the hook from Unlimited, and then go in for it.
Bomb bouncing through. There's the hook, lands on towards Vander. He's going to be focused down very quickly as they dive in there. And look at Woolite, so far away from danger, still able to get the auto attacks off. That's a support down, all the CC that goes with it as well, and they almost hook in Jankos. And that leaves them in a 5 versus 4. Bomb is still available, crucially for Overpower, and Jankos, of course, still has his smite in case he can get in there and have a chance of stealing away.
And that's exactly why Copenhagen Wolves don't actually start the Baron, because they don't want to risk Rocket trying to steal it away. So they're just baiting them in here, land the hook, go for the kill, do the same thing again and again. Unlimited just missed here, but still, if they can take down either Jankos or Overpower, they might go for it.
Waxes onto the side and clumping up as a 3 is a juicy target for even more shields. Jankos just baiting time and time again. The aggro on Baron there will lose a little bit of health for the Copenhagen Wolves team. You see now that Vander has respawned into the game, so that's how long it's currently taking them. And you see there the difference in Woolite. 3 KDA against Alliance 17 this game, and they're going to catch out Unlimited. He's a bit of a mile away from the rest of his team, and the Copenhagen Wolves now trying to focus Vander at the back. Bomb comes around. Woolite, crucially though, is still alive, and that means sure pain for them. Overpower's at the side. He will finish off Woolite. Youngbuck will go down as well. Can they get the damage onto him? Half HP taken away with the surprise at the end there out of Woolite, but Jankos is still going on this. Shield for Airwax. The slow comes down. The Q already in there. Overpower now joining the party. Knocks him back into them. Even the slow of those mines, but still not fast enough. Airwax will run away on the north side.
Hiding them away, but such a messy fight here. Unlimited walked all the way behind Rocket to just start the fight here, but the rest of the team, they couldn't follow. So he was just left by himself, actually ended up dying for it. And then once the fight broke out, Woolite again was in the back line here, killed Vander first, who went onto him, and then he just did all the damage. But very smart move by Overpower, actually staying at the golem. Didn't have any wards on him, we can see it again here. Fight starts, Unlimited by himself. Airwalks trying to join in, teleport comes, backs away actually. It's a bit miscommunication from the Wolves. They need Youngbuck as well to join in. Down here, Kautard and Woolite, of course. Kautard actually almost died from the bomb without using his ulti. And then, of course, Overpower at the golems. Sneaky from him, I should say sneaky, to actually pick up the kill onto to Woolite here, and making sure at least they trade 3 kills for 3 kills.
In the end, I thought, okay, Unlimited's dead before anyone can really react to that one. Funnily enough, he drew out quite a lot of ultimates. So it wasn't all that bad, I think, until the moment that the bomb was perfectly placed on Lulu and on Cogmore at the back. And it looks like we're going to have a bit of deja vu going on as the teams once again get back around Baron. This time, though, the Copenhagen Wolves, I was going to say starting it off, but that would be very untypical from what we've seen so far.
So the Wolves could actually done the same they did earlier in this game, where they just go up towards the tower, shield Woolite, get a few hits on the tower and back away, and just keep doing this, because this Baron dance, it's not been working for them yet. Rocket has managed to hold them away from actually taking it. Now the minions in the bottom lane is going to give power to Rocket as well. So Copenhagen Wolves are giving Rocket time to get some farm, get into the late game here, where at least there's a higher chance of a comeback. And we need to remember, the longer death timers late game here can be very scary. Even though you're far ahead in gold, one mistake in the team fight and all of a sudden your Baron is gone or your base is pretty much gone.
I think base would be the ideal target for Rocket, although there's a lot of towers still in this game for the Copenhagen Wolves. And that sweet sound of free money for a Lulu there. The big wave builds up in the bottom lane. However, well, I mean, there's no teleport on Youngbuck anyway, so even if you went down to clear it, you would have been unable to join the fight. But it's Kautard that was sent down there, and Rocket don't want to start a fight off here just now by the looks of it. Limited again, doing the job of clearing out, and Rocket will just continue to throw in. They've landed the hook onto Jankos. Unlimited gonna go very deep as Youngbuck dives in there as well. Celiver throwing out his ultimate into the middle of nowhere, and there's a lot of damage done here onto the Rocket team. Here comes Airwalks from the side. Is he gonna get down into a good position? Gives him a big shield, and they're gonna get overpowered. That may just be enough to secure them the next Baron in this game. They may even go for more than that. They force Rocket out. 5 versus 4
mid here
for a minute here. There's a minute spawn timer on Overpower. This is going to give them surely an inhib. Will they keep going or will they back off for the Baron?
At least take the inhib, then they can decide from there on. They won't be able to finish with all 4 members here from Rocket unless they want to play it very, very aggressive, can back away and try the Baron. Jankos, of course, still has his smite. There's a chance he can steal it, but unless Copenhagen Wolves, they actually need to really mess it up here. They need to see the Sonic Wave and just keep doing damage, and then Jankos can steal it. Or they can just line it up.
Oh, they can just set the trap, which Jankos will fall hook, line, and sinker into. It's Youngblood that gets that kill. That's the jungler now down for a minute. That means that a Baron relatively safe for them. However, 13 seconds for Overpower to come up. His ulti will be available. I think Baron's already gone by then.
It will be gone by then. So finally, it actually pays off for Copenhagen Wolves. Been baiting around this Baron for such a long time. Needed the one hook onto Jankos. He actually jumped into the rest of his team unlimited, followed. The rest of Copenhagen Wolves came in towards them. Airworks, of course, flanked around onto Overpower. 5-man ult from his Evelyn, and managed to get the kills they needed. Took Jankos afterwards, so they got both mid inhibitor and also the Baron here. Both played by Copenhagen Wolves.
Answering with a dragon pickup, which worth at this stage of the game certainly a good chunk of gold, and they'll take every bit of gold that they can have right now. If you look at the AD carries, what a stark difference there is there. With the Blade of the Ruin King, Infinity Edge, Banshee's Veil now, Static Shiv, Last Whisper, full item build for Woolite. On the other side, a couple of items behind is Celiver, to be frank. He's only got the Cutlass in. He's working up towards that Blade of the Ruin King. Meanwhile, Coutard here speeding up through the jungle. Airwax is going to reveal a ward, which will be a big ward for them as well. Overall, the Copenhagen Wolves are definitely in the driver's seat. Here is Coutard going to go aggressive onto Zazas. That is a lot of damage. Can they pop the G8? No. Zazas walks out.
Youngberg is down this bottom lane here, pushing the wave up. Zazas will have to go down, try and deal with him. Both has teleport ready, but still Youngberg can apply some damage onto the tower, back away. He's tanky enough. He got the Baron regen as well to get us some damage and back away, and then Copenhagen Wolves can focus all the pressure on this top side.
But now, again, the shield's coming in handy as they tank it up. Unlimited.
Nice.
So much health. They hook in Celiver. Don't follow through though. Finder getting ripped to pieces by Woolite. Doesn't matter how tanky you are with this Cogmore hammering away on you. Jankos actually going to fall relatively low there as well. But you look at Youngbuck in the bottom lane. He's still pushing onto that inhibitor turret. He may even take it here. In fact, I think he will. He's not going to be too scared of Irelia. That means the top turret is also going to be taken down as they draw one extra player over. The inhibitor worked on now by Youngbuck as well. Zazas dives aggressive for him, but he's simply far too tanky. The Wolves going to take the top inhib. They're going to simply circulate around for the bottom inhibitor as well.
And they can pick up the third one for them. Unlimited just missed the hook up here in the top of your screen. Rocket, there's just one thing they can do, and just go for a fight and see if they can win it.
Well, I'm not sure that they can. Vander went all in onto that one. The Wild Growth goes onto Airwax. This should be a whitewash for the Copenhagen Wolves. Jankos tries to flash away. Actually, Celiver dies as he tries to get to the fountain, and that is going to be it. The Copenhagen Wolves come in, take down the two Nexus turrets. The Nexus itself will follow, and after 43 minutes, they break through the defense of Rocket. And while it was a long game and certainly at points not a pretty one, some real messy fights in there, the Copenhagen Wolves will take that one. They played it well in the later stages, baiting them into that Baron time after time after time, and so the one time that it goes right, that's where you turn it into the win.
We're starting to worry if they did it for too long, if Rocket had too much time to farm up, but then the hook landed onto Jankos here, got into the big team fight. Airwalks came around, flanked around them, hit the 5-man ult of course, and the fight was won from Copenhagen Wolves. It was just what they needed to actually take the game as well. And Woolite, Airwax, both of them picked up 11 kills. Airwax 11, 5, 12, and we have Woolite up on 11, 2, and 13. Both of them, it's fantastic in this game.
Yeah, and that's also a much needed boost of confidence for the Wolves, I think, because they tried a couple of different ways to get around it. That man on the left of your screen there, Youngbuck, I want to give him some real praise for the things today, because whilst we've said and whilst we've given him a bit of flack, I think we can safely say, about his choices in that top lane, the Lulu, the Vladimir, that they really tried to crowbar into their setup and it never really worked out. Played the Shyvana well, yes, he did have some troubles a little bit earlier on in that top lane where he was just constantly bullied out, but once he got later, he was in the right place at the right time, diving into the team.
It's what I like about the Copenhagen Wolves changing game plan in this game here. Once they knew Youngbuck was too far behind up in this top lane here to actually deal with Zazas, they swapped him, or they put him together with the rest of the team, actually started just team fighting, all 5 members, finding kills everywhere. And then of course Copenhagen Wolves, they managed to punish Rocket whenever they did something stupid. I mean, they invade onto the red buff. We have to call it stupid from Rocket here. They move in, try and kill Unlimited first. Celeber flashes into the hook afterwards, dies. 4 members end up dying, and Copenhagen Wolves get quite a gold lead from there, and it was just pretty much Copenhagen Wolves' game to lose after that one team fight.
Really, the fact is that they went too deep into it. The Wolves, what did we see from that fight? We thought, okay, Unlimited now is caught out by 3 men. What actually happened is that he flashed away, threw out a hook, which I don't know if it was going to land, we'll never really know, but it did land because Celeber flashed into it being too aggressive.
Exactly.
He'd lose the AD carry, and Woolite from the back, we know at that point he's already got enough items to keep the damage going through. Airwax following constantly with Evelyn, the constant slows out of Lulu, and the shields to keep Airwax alive, let's not forget, right at the very end as well. Really well played by the Copenhagen Wolves, and I'm happy for them. They've managed to pick up a win at a time where just nothing seemed to be working for them.
And I like Airwax a lot more on Evelyn than I like him on Yorick. Because he's a lot more aggressive early on. He makes a lot of plays. This game, both him and Jankos were ganking left and right, counter-jungling each other. And that's something he's doing on this Evelyn. He did the same time when he played Evelyn in the win from Super Week for Copenhagen Wolves. So I like to see him on this champion. I like to see him be more aggressive. And I like the fact that Copenhagen Wolves actually trusted him and first picked Evelyn. Even though Lee Sin was open, you know, multiple picks open. Went straight for the Evelyn. They said, you know what, we know you can do well in this champion. And he did.
So summing things up, the 2 games that the Wolves have won, a bruiser in the top lane, and one of the 4, aka not Yorick, inside of the jungle. It's worked for them a couple of times. We'll see how the Wolves develop in our next games coming next week. But for now, of course, we're going to join Shox on the stage where she's ready to speak with the Wolves' Woolite.
Thank you very much, Joe. Indeed, joined by one of the new members of the Copenhagen Wolves here, Woolite. 11-2 and 13 on Kog'Maw. Amazing game. Talk me through the game from your perspective after a very aggressive start from Roccat.
So they got the first blood and double kill on our blue buff. But I was really confident, like laning 2v2, I was getting free farm as Kog'Maw versus Leona Lucian, who should like punish him. But I took cleanse, so they couldn't really do anything to me. When I survived the lane, like we started out trading them, so it was really easy. Like I just got really fed and yeah.
Absolutely. You were the first one to play Kog'Maw actually here in the summer split in the EU LCS. What is it about Kog'Maw that makes it work for you?
Kog'Maw is like percentage damage with W, so he's really good right now in this meta. When there are tanks everywhere, like in top, so you just shred them with the percentage damage, and yeah. I really like his long range and scaling into the late game.
Yeah, you absolutely did really well on him. Finally, first games here in the LCS with the Copenhagen Wolves. What's it been like playing in the LCS and with the team?
They're really cool guys. I never had a better atmosphere in a team than this, so yeah, I'm really having a fun time with them, and I hope we grab some more wins than now.
Well, if the Kog'Maw play stays like this, I'm sure you will. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Now, as for us, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to break down this match together with Quickshot after this. But we also have the last LCS game of the day coming up with the Super Hot Crew versus Gambit. Don't go anywhere.
Actually, oh, I'm coming. I'm running. I can ult you. I'm gonna back off. I flash out. I'm gonna hook Lucian. Get Lucian. Nice. Go. Chase him.
Keep going.
Leona. I will flash.
I'm running around. I'm coming around.
Focus Ziggs.
I'll shield you. I can't do more. Six.
Listen.
Nice. Good job. I got him. Okay,
Nice. Push me.
Get